and I also have made this course plan for. Wait 1 second. Yes, yes. Now I am sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the course plan of theory of design subject, right? So the objective of the this course is the student should have the skills related to the architecture design, the principle of architecture design, and the different elements of architecture design, and the overall orientation towards the architecture course and the profession. So, in this subject, we have total 4 units. So, I have divided like each unit into two parts, so we can divide and do discussion on the each topic uh, regularly without breaking anything. So the first topic is like the introduction to architecture, architecture profession, primary elements of architecture. So this is the like the schedule of uh, the lecture, the assignment required for this topic, right? So everything is very well defined here. Reading material is also mentioned here. So I will I will share this course plan to you guys. So every time you have an idea about how we are going to finish this course, right? Finish this subject. So this subject carry total 100 marks. 50 is like internal marks, and 50 is the external marks. So you guys have to submit total 5 assignments, right? So each assignment carry 10 marks. So each assignment have a sub part also. It's not It's not like you just have to submit one sheet, right? It's you have to submit your assignment in different format. It can be a model, it can be a written assignment, it can be a PowerPoint presentation too, right? So in the first unit we will discuss about the primary elements of architecture, visual elements, right, conceptual elements. In the unit 2, we will discuss about the spatial organization of masses, right? So the assignment is also defined in for each unit, right? So so you have to check every time while submitting your assignment, right? And so I will not accept any late submission very strictly. Okay. So every week you have to submit your assignment, right? Sometimes the assignment can be discussed in 2 weeks, right? So in the first unit, you just see the first topic is talking about the primary elements of architecture. For this topic, you have to submit all these five assignment, right? So in this two lecture, which will happen on 3rd of March and the 10th of March, right? In these 2 days, you have to present your assignment, right? So in one day, I discuss the topic, and after that you have to present your assignment on the upcoming days. Okay. So this is unit 3, study and identify different architectural elements. So how the different architectural elements are experienced. uh, So for that, you have to make a documentation of different architecture elements used in the heritage and the contemporary building, right? So for that, you have to visit any heritage site which is near to your locality, near to your vicinity, so you can go and do documentation easily, right? So in unit 4, so you will get the idea about the whole architectural design process, how what kind of data is required, what is the role of the site study, right? How we have to plan the site analysis part, right? And what are the major things required in the site analysis. Um, then you have to present, right? For and in this unit 4, you have to choose one case study, right? So in that case study, you have to make a presentation on the data collection, on the site study, on the whole analysis part, and at the end you have to create the inferences, right? So yes. So about architecture is like there is something marvelous about imagining a structure, putting that idea on paper or into a computer, and then converting that vision into a reality, right? The uniqueness about the course. Most building are not temporary structure. They are usually around for like 50 years, 30 years, and some building stays for more than 100 and 1,000 years. There is one monastery in Lahore Spiti region of Himachal Pradesh. There is one Tabo monastery which was constructed 1200 year ago. Was constructed made out of wood and mud. So you just imagine what kind of techniques they have used to build the structure. So equality architecture program will also cultivate team building and communication skills and provide a supportive learning and atmosphere. Right, team building. So during your course, you have to work on in the team also, right? So the main thing is how can you easily define the good architecture and the bad architecture. For example, you can easily differentiate between the sound and the music. Sound can be of anything like a hammer sound or a sound of a vehicle. Right. So in case of music, uh, you will like some artist song, right? So if you want to listen again, right? If you like that artist, you want to listen more and more, right? And it stays for some times in your mind, right? And that affects your mood, right? But architecture is something different. It creates a tangible impact on human life. uh, what type of people thrive in the architecture profession? If if someone loves problem solving, they may enjoy a job as an architect, because there is a never one right solution to an architecture problem, right? So none of your design can be wrong or can be right, right? It should be appropriate uh, with respect to its context, right? With respect to its natural surrounding. So idea may be different, right? So if you are a young person and you walk into a room and you go and see and feel, wow, that's a great space. And if you are a person, if you are walking in the streets of a city and you have to pull out your camera because you see how buildings are aligning and how the advertisement on the building are aligned, so and how the sun orientation is moving, and you will feel the shadow effect on the street, right? So that is like something great in this profession, where you can feel the space, right? The impact of architecture on the environment, right? So the role and responsibility of an architect are like master crafts people capable of designing they can do different kind of projects, private dwellings, like government projects, commercial property, right? They often collaborate with the different kind of expert people, like the electrical consultant, like the HVAC consultant, like the structural consultant, right? If and their goal is basically to construct a space for the people, and that space can be like any, like homes, offices, like leisure places for recreation, right? So and there are some architects takes on basically variety of construction, variety of different construction project sorry, while other architects specializing in different kind of buildings, like some architects are expert in hospital, right? So and some architects are good in designing shopping mall. So it's depend on the area of interest and how you are dealing with the architectural issues. And the lifelong learning involved in the architecture profession make it a fun field to work in, and note that you will appreciate the fact that you will have a tangible product, right? You, and after the end of every semester you have a some kind of tangible thing in your hand, so you can see your progress, you can see your growth, right? Architecture profession provides a wonderful variety of opportunity. Yes, this is 100% true, because after the architecture you will get the idea, right? What you can do for yourself, right? If you are good in, right, good, if you are good with your hand, so you can make model also. Like some of my friends are model makers, right? They are architect, but they have interest in that field, so they are making models, right? So in architecture, every step having kind of sort of teams, right? So each teams have a set of 4 5 person, and each person has a different kind of responsibilities. Some are working on the drawing, some are working on the presentation, some are working on the models, right? Like that. So and after this course you can do n numbers of things. You can do your post graduation in subjects like the planning subject, regional planning, town planning, environmental planning, right? And after that you can do urban design also, right? Planning is the bigger scale. Urban design is kind of the middle scale, where you can work inside the city, like the streetscape, the facade treatment, like that. And the architecture is like the individual building scale. So all these functions are very much connected, right? So now the, the primary elements of design. This lecture will present the conceptual elements of design in the order to their growth from the point to a one dimension line, from the line to a two-dimensional plane, from the plane to a three-dimensional volume, and from the volume to form and space. Together with the visual elements of design, these conceptual elements form the vocabulary of architectural design. You just see in this image how a point is converted into plane, right? So you just see point, and there is one starting point and one ending point. After joining, you will get the line, like series of line. You can get the plane, right? If you compose your lines in such a way, you can get the volume, right? These are the visual elements of design, right? Color, texture. Texture, you can feel through touch of the surface, size of the element, shape of the element. So, so a point basically indicates a position in the space. Conceptually, it has no length, no width or depth, and is therefore static, centralized, and the directionless. The because the width is not defined, the length is not defined, right? And it's like a centralized and the directionless space, right? Line have a line with the properties of the length, direction, right? In which direction length is moving, position. A line extends becomes a plane with the properties of length and width, the shape of the plane, the surface, the orientation, and the position. A plane extended become a volume with properties of length, width, breadth, and depth. Surface orientation and the position in the volume. Point, basically a dot is the visual expression of a point which is an indicator of a location, right? Uh, so in the white A4 paper, you just make a point on the A4 paper, and that define the indication of the location, right? The point in the map, right? That define the location. So it has no dimension. It is the simplest and the fundamental elements of design. All graphic reproduction is based on the smallest unit. It denotes position, point of reference in the space. It, it draws attention and creates focus. It can effectively produce and create gradients, texture, pattern, and the complex shapes. So here you can see In the images you can see the different kind of dots in the universe, right? You can see the scale of the dot, visual scale, texture, dots in points in texture, right? Points in sculpture. Here you can see the different dots in the human expression. So, as the prime element in the vocabulary, this can have the two ends of a line, the intersection of the two line, right? It meets at point. The meeting of lines at the corner of a plane or volume. Although a point theoretically has neither shape nor form, it begins to make its presence felt when placed with a visual field. At the center of its environment, a point is stable and at rest, organizing surrounding element about itself and dominating its field, right? So you can see in the images how this point is dominating when we are placing in the center. When the point is moved off the center, however, its field becomes more aggressive and begin to compete the visual supremacy. Visual tension is created between the point and its field, right? So the next element is the line. Uh, to describe uh, to describe line, basically a line is the connection of two or more points that are so close that cannot be individually recognized. It is created by the continuous movements of points, continuous movements of dots. Right. It is one of the basic and most commonly used design element. Right. So line is a very important architectural design element. Line consists of one dimension. Every line has a length and thickness. An important quality of line is the direction. It guides the eye from one end to another. It is an expressive tool and describe the shape of a building. It can describe the shape of any object, like uh, like any machinery, right? Any thing. The human eye is very sensitive to lines, real or imaginary. Therefore, in graphic design, the use of line helps to lead the viewer's eye towards what you want to them to see. Line can create shapes and divide spaces, right? So, through if we are drawing one single line in the center of the paper, right? So the whole paper divides in the two different shapes, right? So you can see. The example of different lines. This is the corner photograph is the cover of the magazine. You just see how this use of the lines, how the design the define the spaces. So with the help of lines, how they are creating rhythm and movement. Line is a critical element in the formation of any visual construction. It can serve to join, link, support, surround, or intersect other visual elements, describe the edges of and give shapes to the planes, articulate of the surface of the plane. A point extended becomes a line. Conceptually, line has length but not no width or depth, whereas a point is by nature static. A line in describe the path of a point in motion is capable of visually expressing direction, movement, and growth. So just wait 1 second. So vertical linear elements such as columns, obelisk, and tower have been used throughout the history to commemorate significant events and establish particular points in space. Vertical linear elements can define a transparent volume of space. So in this mosque, you can see with the help of these straight lines, the volume is defined, right? Yes. Yes. Now, the third one is the plane. Plane is like two parallel lines have the ability to visually describe a plane. Plane refers to an area outlined by lines, right? So if we are using four lines to make one plane, and that enclosed space have some area, and that considered as a plane. It plane a transparent spatial membrane can be stretched between them to acknowledge their visual relationship. The closer these lines are to each other, the stronger will be the sense of plane they convey. right? So you just see with the help of these images the linear member of this trellis and pergolas can provide a moderate degree of definition and enclosure for outdoor spaces while allowing filtered sunlight and breeze to penetrate because the structure have perforated, right, have perforation, so you can get a kind of uh, diffuse light in while walking under these pergola. Shape is the primary identifying characteristic of a plane. It is determined by the contour of the line forming the edge of the plane. Right. So you can see there are different shapes, and with the help of these lines forming the edge of the plane. So
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, yeah. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, while drafting, we actually learned to shade the walls and the columns in our designing, in architecture design. So, is it
Mhm.
because so we can provide a more sense of a plane?
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you want to show like a three plane, right, in your view, right, there must be like a base plane base plane where you have to highlight the flooring, the lower surface, right? So that surface you can define with the help of lines, with the help of points, right? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I was actually asking, like, providing when we make a wall in our plan, this is like the 2D plan that we take from the top, we actually shade our walls. So, is it because we can define that this is a more solid structure?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And you have to define the shadow also, right? If you are making any view of during the daytime, right, during the sun, so at that moment you have to make the shadow of the building on the ground, right, and that will not reflect the plane, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are three types of plane: overhead plane, wall plane, and the base plane. So planes in architecture define three-dimensional volume of mass and space. The property of each plane, like the size, shape, color, and the texture of the plane, right? So texture, if I'm giving an example of a wall, right? So wall have can be a smooth surface, can be a textured surface, can be a perforated, right? So the plane can be of can be have a different properties, as well as their spatial relationship to another ultimately determines the visual attributes of the form they define and the qualities of the space they enclose uh, inside the plane. So overhead plane can be either the roof plane, that can be the shelter, the interior spaces of a building, uh, or ceiling plane that form the upper enclosing surface of a room. So your the overhead plane is like the roof. So you have the false ceiling also on the roof. Wall plane, because of its vertical orientation, is active in our normal field of vision and vital to the shaping and enclosure of the architectural space. So basically wall, so we have four wall, right, and every wall have a different kind of architecture. Right, so the enclosure, the space, uh, so the space can be transformed with the help of these plane, wall plane. So the third one is the base plane. The base plane can be either the ground plane that serve as the physical foundation and visual base for building forms, or the floor plan that form the lower enclosing surface of a room upon which we walk, right?
Excuse me,
So
sir.
the flooring part. Yes, 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 sir.
Sir, your screen isn't visible.
Hello, your voice
Sir, your screen isn't visible.
is not visible.
No, sir. Like you stopped sharing.
Hello, just let me check. Oh, there is no internet. There is a internet issue in the department. So, all right. So no issue. We can discuss. I will mail the PPT in our group, or and we can discuss now. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Mm, the network is not there. Mm, is this is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, but it's not very clear.
Okay. Okay, no issue. I will share my presentation in our WhatsApp group so you can understand the graphics and the presentation. Okay. So, and the points we can discuss now also. Okay. Because it's very difficult to read now, right? No, it's not good. So plane we have discussed like overhead plane, wall plane and base plane, right? The top surface, the roof, the wall plane, the side walls, like every rooms have like four walls. Base plane means the flooring part, okay? So the ground plane itself can be manipulated as well as to establish a podium for building form. It can be elevated to honor a scared or significant place, berm to define outdoor space or buffer against undesirable condition like the buffer space. When if like if we have you ever went to this Raj Bhavan, this parliamentary building? Have anyone seen the parliamentary building in Delhi?
No, sir.
Okay, so you just see in this image. Wait 1 second. Yeah, in this image, there are different base planes, right? There is a base planes is in the ground, and here is one wrap which is connected to the another base plane at different level, right? And after that you again you will get another ramp to reach the top level. So there are different base planes which are connected with the help of ramps. So this is the example in the FLW house. You can see the roof plane, right? So how these overhangs create a kind of semi-covered space where people can sit during the daytime also. So now the fourth one is the volume. Volume is like a plane extended in a direction other than its intrinsic direction becomes a volume. In terms of conceptually, we can say a volume has a three dimension: length, width, and depth. All volumes can be analyzed and understood consist of points where several planes come together, planes or surface that defines the limit or boundaries of a volume. So form is the primary identifying characteristic of a volume, right? So volume is not only defined by the form. In the previous image where I saw I present you this thing, one mosque picture which was enclosed by four minarets, right? And that minaret consider as a line, as a element, and the enclosed space we can consider as a volume. So in architecture, a volume can be seen to be either a portion of a space contained and defined by the wall, floor, and ceiling, or roof planes, or a quantity of space displaced by the mass of a building, it is important to perceive the duality, especially when reading orthographic planes, elevation, and section. Hope now screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I was talking about this base plane where you can see the base plane at the different level, right? This is like a mortuary temples of Queen Hatshepsut, Egypt, where three terraced approaches by the ramp. So three terrace means three base plane approaches by the ramps. This is Roby House, Chicago, designed by the FLW. The low sloping roof planes and broad overhangs are the characteristics of the Prince School of Architecture. This is the Shodan House, the lower one image. The Shodan House villa designed by architect and planner Lee Corbusier. So you just see the how the overhead plane is creating a different kind of experience where people can sit during the sunny day, right? Sunny day means in Ahmedabad during the daytime, the temperature is like above 35, above 40. So in that time, what kind of space is required to provide comfort to the user? So this kind of plane we can use. Now the volume part, right? So basically, the volume is defined by the points, lines, and different planes. The form of is the primary identifying characteristic of the volume, the shape of the structure. So in this plan of a building, you just see how a volume can be seen either or a portion of space contained and define this wall, floor, or ceiling as a roof plane quantity of space displaced by the mass of a building. It is important to perceive the duality, especially when reading orthographic planes, elevation, and section. So in plan, you can see the base plane, right? In the section, you can see you can see the you can see the wall plane and the base plane and overhead plane. just see this piazza was enclosed by a group of building, right? So that is also a kind of volume where a large number of population can come and join for any event, right? So so today we have discussed about the point, line, different planes and volume, form, shape and space. The conceptual element of design, all these elements we can discuss in the next class, and with these the visual elements of design. Okay, guys, please ask any question if you have. Hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for for the assignment, you have to make all these five assignment. Wait 1 second. Yes. So the first assignment is a black and white composition of points to show degradation. Degradation means with the help of points, like with the help of dots, you have to make a composition, right? In like in A3 sheet, you can make A3 sheet and divide it in four segments, right? And each segment you have to show degradation with the help of points, with the help of dots. Second is a black and white composition of points represent any of the following: sand dune, sky, sea, stone, rock formation, or waves. So basically, you have to use points and to make sand dune sky, right, with the help of dots only. So the third one is the interesting composition of the lines. Of the lines means you can make for you have to make four like this, like this. You have to make four composition in one sheet, right, with use of the different lines. Okay. So the second one is the composition of different geometric shape and the organic shape. This thing you can submit in the next class, means just after my lecture. Okay. So now you can work on the first three assignment, right? And you have to present in the next class, which is on 3rd March, right?
Sir, excuse me, sir, your voice is breaking. Can you please type it and send it in the group?
Hello, 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 hello.
Sir, yeah, your voice is creaking, sir.
Okay, okay, no issue. I will text in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Sir,
Yes,
can
sir.
you
If you
send
can.
the entire PDF in the group?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So have you made the group?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mhm. No, group is not.
It's named Theory of Design. It was the second in your screen, the second group that was visible.
Okay, got it, got it.
Sir, when is the due date of this assignment? 3rd of March?
Yeah, the assignment you have to present in the next class, right? The assignment is due on 3rd. So you have to present on the 3rd.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Guys, I will share the presentation and the course plan in the WhatsApp group. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask.
Excuse me, sir. So
Yeah,
we are going to divide an A3 sheet into four, right? And
yeah,
in and each we will make like for the dots for the first one. In those four parts, we are going to make four dot composition.
yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else you want to ask, guys?
So,
Yeah.
so the third one, composition of line, like even that should be in black and white, right?
Yeah. Please say again.
The third composition of line, even that should be in black and white, right?
Yeah, yeah, black and white. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And sir, for the lines assignment, can we use lines of different width, or do we have to maintain the uniform width for all the lines?
Different, different.
Different widths, like the different thickness
Yeah,
for the lines.
you can use the size of thickness is totally depend on your imagination.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Now I am suspending the meeting and I will share the presentation and the course plan in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Have a yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.